Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to Race 32 of Season 9 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Five Flags 500 at Pensacola International Speedway as we are getting set for 22 laps of racing at this classic 3-mile restrictor plate track. But let's look at the starting lineup for this week's race. In the last row, it's Michael Norman, Jonathan Zorleen. Top 10, Joey Parkhill is on the pole for today. Starting next to him is Henry Sanford. Row 2, Charles Sanford and Quentin Moore. Row 3, Melissa Alexander, Raphael Leduc. Row 4, Jesse Turner, Arthur Xavier. And then row 5, Dylan Jacobs and Aaron Macklin. With that said, let's get the command to fire engines for the Five Flags 500 at Pensacola.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers now coming out of pit road to get on the racetrack for the pace lap. So yeah, Pensacola, the oval portion of the track, we've run the road course here in the past. And while we had some alright races on the road course, definitely going to be looking forward to seeing how these drivers are going to fare on the actual oval of the racetrack, the restrictor plate track. And it's very, very wide, so we should see some really good 4-wide racing go on throughout the race. 3 wide, no problem. 4 wide, I think they can do it. 5 wide, that's going to be the tricky thing, if they will, or if they are going to attempt 5 wide. But yeah, the track is very, very wide. Wide enough. What in the world just happened back here? Already, fireworks have exploded before we've even got the green. Carson Gum just got dumped on the pace lap by William Brock, it looked like. Already, the fireworks have exploded before we've even taken the green. Luckily, there's not enough damage to really ruin their race. Maybe for William Brock, just a tad, because he's got that buckle on the front end of his car. But where is the 60? There he is. He's trying to get caught back up to the rest of the pack, and he's going to get sent to the back of the field, or is NNSCRA officials going to let him back in line? It looks like they're going to try and let him back in line, but let's see. Or is he going to end up having to restart in the middle of all this? But anyways, let's get back to the front as the pace car is pulling into pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to boogity, boogity, boogity go racing. Four wide at the line, and Joey Parkhill led the lap, but Carson Gum, I guess he sustained quite a bit of damage from that spin that he needed to come to pit road and get it fixed. So he's going to be hoping and praying for a quick caution to come out so he can get back into the hunt for the win. But now the group, because of Carson coming to pit road, a lot of drivers, including a few championship contenders, Alyssa Drayson, Zachary Fitzwater, Daniel Voiles, are all now at the very back of the field as a result. But can they catch back up to the main pack? That's the question, and I don't think they will, so they're going to have to bank on a quick caution to come out in order to get back in the hunt for the win. But back up here at the front, new leader Keith Miller Jr., and look who's also coming into the picture. A couple other championship contenders, including Caleb Kilburn and the points leader, or actually second in points, I should say, Scott Groverston. And I thought it would be tricky to do 5 wide here. No, they're making 5 wide work and working it to their advantage. Somehow, some way, they're able to keep it together 5 wide, which is fantastic. And actually, it looks like that second group of cars, led by Jonathan Zorleen, I'm trying to get to them, are slowly reeling back in that main group, so maybe they still have some sort of hope. That is if things work out in their benefit. So what they're probably hoping for is all them drivers that are on the outside lane that are slowing down to fall back, and then the second group led by Zorleen can suck up in their draft and get back in the pack. And you can tell it's working, because they are rapidly closing in on this giant group of cars. Excuse me. But I'm trying to look for, there he is, Carson Gum, and this is a huge break for the 60, because he's third in points, came in 38 points behind Zachary Fitzwater coming in, and he was hoping to clobber his way up in the points ranks and try and gain more points in hopes of staying alive in the championship hunt. But now he is hoping and praying a caution comes out soon, because he's about to eventually get swallowed up by the rest of the field. And now the leader at the line was Aaron Macklin in the 6. But they are still really going at it with each other up here at the front. New leader now, Trey Wright, for the time being. But yeah, whatever had happened on that pace lap with he in the 29 under the pace lap is really upsetting the 60. And I feel like maybe Carson Gum's waiting for that 29 in order to get him back, but I don't know if that'd be such a smart idea, because it could take out many more cars, because remember, with tracks like this, the big one is almost inevitable. Sometimes we can get away with a clean and green race, but not all the time. As right now, Alexander Rowe currently leads the way here at Pensacola, and they have caught Carson Gum. Carson Gum, unfortunately, looks like he's going to end up going a lap down unless he can find a way ahead of the leader and then hope a caution comes out and he could get back to the tail end of the longest line somehow, some way. Keep checking the interval of that group of cars from 33rd on back, and they have actually lost some ground as a result, so yeah, they're also banking for a quick caution to come out. But with how fast we go here, and also the amount of laps, only 22 laps at a track that takes roughly 52 seconds to make a lap around, under green that is, it's not really a whole lot of time in comparison to like Daytona or Talladega. Right now we got teammates running 1-2 from Wings of Glory Motorsports, Alexander Rowe and Patrick Smith, working together up here at the front of the field. The only teammate of theirs missing is Rafael Leduc in the 16, the owner of Wings of Glory Motorsports. I'm trying to look for him in the group here, and he's towards the back of the group from what I can tell. But Patrick Smith moving down low to go for the lead for himself and get a very valuable bonus point. And look who's behind him, another go or go homer, and that's Chris Dollarton. And Dollarton's just hoping for something good to come his way before the season ends. Because remember, after this race, it's 4 left in the season. Only 4. So time running out for drivers to make some big strides to get either top 30 in the points or stay alive in the championship battle. But right now, Scott Roverston is the highest of those championship contenders. Second in points. Came in 3 points behind the 12 of Fitzwater after they both had rather mediocre runs back at Ontario this past Monday. But Scott Roverston looking really good to not only gain the points lead back, but to extend that points lead to a level that will be seemingly unreachable, depending on what happens after today with the next 4 races to come. And I can for sure tell you what those 4 races are going to be. The next race this Friday is going to be at Texas for the NRA 500, followed by next week, the finale week, we head to a first-time track, Pukekohe Speedway, in Pukekohe, I should say, in Australia for the Aussie Challenge. And then after that, we head back to North Wilkesboro for the penultimate race, and then the finale at Kansas. So that is the remaining schedule for Season 9. As far as like the schedule for Season 10, we're looking into doing some more experiments with Season 10 as far as certain tracks that we're going to be going to. We're going to be doing some testing during the off-season for other tracks to see if they're going to be worth putting on the schedule for Season 10. Yeah, this second group, in fact, yeah, Zachary Fitzwater, the points leader, not looking really good. Same with Alyssa Drayson, who's 4th in points. So yeah, and Daniel Voiles, who's 9th in the point standings, also in the back over here. So yeah, 3 of those top 10 drivers in the standings not running very well here in this race. And look at this, 4 wide, many rows deep, and they are still hoping for a quick caution to get back into the pack and still race. But Caleb Kilburn, another one of those championship contenders, 5th in the standings, 55 points behind Zachary Fitzwater. So if he could pull off a good finish here tonight... Oh, and there they go! Oh, Cole Deaver, and oh, Patrick Smith, Alexander Rowe. Patrick Smith ends up taking the brunt of it. Oh, Fitzwater, the points leader, just got clobbered into with Patrick Smith. Oh, no. Major championship implications right there. Zachary Fitzwater just clobbered Patrick Smith. Well, that was the caution that group of cars needed, but unfortunately, Carson Gump's still going to be trapped a lap down as a result. But they're racing it back to the line to take the halfway point, and right now it's Melissa Alexander going to go to helicopter cam. Yeah, Melissa Alexander is going to lead under caution, but man, that was a hard hit for Patrick Smith. And Zachary Fitzwater, the points leader, was in there too. Not really a big one, it was just a multi-car accident, but still a hard crash for the 12 and the 61. But Melissa Alexander currently hangs on to the race lead under caution as we are at 11 laps to go halfway through. We're going to take a look at the replay to see what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Pensacola. Well, here's a look at what happened. So this is going into turn 1, coming past the start-finish line. Watch Cole Deaver on the bottom. It looks like his car gets really loose on corner entry. He's trying to catch it and went to the apron, comes up into Ashlyn Boyd, up into Chris Dollerton, Patrick Smith, and Alexander Rowe. But they all kept it together for the most part until Smith goes sideways into the wall and spins. And that's why the caution came out. Then that little bit of contact from Alexander Rowe. But the real part of this wreck is going to happen as Smith starts sliding down the racetrack, hoping that the second group of cars were hoping he'd stay on the apron so that way they didn't end up having to come across him. And here comes the second group at any moment. There they are. And Patrick Smith tries to back up to turn back around, but Fitzwater on the apron a little bit. Big impact, and look at how much the 61 goes spinning like a top. Good thing, though, it was towards the quarter panel, not at the door. If that was the door, That would have been a dangerous moment. Possibly even some barrel rolls could have taken place. But I want to look and see how fast the 12 was going when he hit the 61. He sees it happening. He's trying to slow down a bit, but 179 miles an hour right in the quarter panel, sending the 61 spinning like a top, and the front end of that 12 car completely destroyed. And Fitzwater had just taken the points lead back after Ontario, now is more than likely going to lose the points lead and maybe even drop another spot or two in the standings, depending on what happens in the rest of this race. But let's take you to the restart here at Pensacola. Well, during all that, more championship implications just took place. Scott Groverston's also out of the race. I don't know what for, and James Qualls has gone a lap down. There might have been some miscommunication under caution between those two to lead to that happening, but that's going to be major in the championship hunt because that's 2 of the top 5, in fact the top 2 in the standings, out of the race now. And also with Carson Gum being a lap down, top 5 in the standings is going to get really interesting now as a result of everything. But we're down to 37 cars on track, 35 on the lead lap. When we get back to racing, it'll be 7 laps to go. Melissa Alexander is the leader, second is Henry Sanford, third Keith Miller Jr., fourth Jessica Shelton, fifth Matt McIntyre. 6th is Kyle Matthews, 7th Trey Wright, 8th Dylan Young, 9th Quentin Moore, 10th Dylan Jacobs. 11th is Daniel Bouchard, 12th Caleb Kilburn, 13th Seth Cole, 14th Henry Durand, 15th Ryan Acosta, 16th Riley Henry, 17th Jesse Turner, 18th Joey Parkhill, 19th Mitchell Collins, 20th Aaron Macklin. 21st is Rafael Leduc, 22nd Arthur Xavier, 23rd Charles Sanford, 24th Ashland Boyd, 25th Cole Deaver. Then the rest of the field is Jonathan Zorleen, Daniel Voiles, Alyssa Drayson, Michael Norman, Jay Jefferson, Stephen Kalan, William Brock, Jordan Forbes, Chris Dollarton, Alexander Rowe, James Qualls, and then up here towards the front, still a lap down, is Carson Gum. But we're getting ready to go back to racing with 7 laps to go. Time running out for everybody to make final strides to get to the win. But like I said, with Groverston and Fitzwater done for the night, it's going to be interesting to see how the point standings are going to look now. I feel like because Groverston was on like well, no, never mind. It would still be 3-point deficit between the two because they would not be scored points. Although I can't recall if Groverston led a lap earlier in the race or not. If he did, he'd still get a point for leading a lap. And that could help Groverston close in by just 1 point heading into Texas on Friday. We'll just have to wait and see at the end of the video for that. But how about Carson Gum? He's one to get back on the lead lap and hope for another quick caution to come out and come back around and try and get better finishing positions to conclude this race. But the leader at the line, Matt McIntyre, who's 6th in the point standings, 57 behind Fitzwater coming in. Oh, what is Dylan Young doing? Ooh, wow. Oh, there they go. There they go. Another crash. Oh, this is the big one here at Pensacola. Multiple cars. Holy cow! Major barrel rolls! Seth Cole wildly flipping. Chris Dollarton, Alexander Rowe. Dollarton comes to rest on his roof. Oh, Carson Gum, if he could just stay in front of the leaders, he could get back on the lead lap and try and get more spots. Oh, but he's stuck on the outside lane, though, as Kyle Matthews has the lead and he's ahead of the 60. Doesn't look like Carson's going to get back on the lead lap this time, although he's trying, but just wasn't enough time there. And who knows if we're even going to get back to racing now as a result. The big one struck here at Pensacola. Major front-end damage for Michael Norman, Jordan Forbes, Alexander Rowe, James Qualls, Riley Henry, Aaron Macklin, William Brock, Stephen Kalan, Mitchell Collins, Charles Sanford. Lot of drivers. Dylan Young, who started it all somehow, and what in the world is Ashlyn Boyd still doing there? I think they finally teleported Ashlyn to pit road. I think he was stuck between the racetrack and the apron, just could not get out of there. But it's 5 laps to go here at Pensacola. Who knows, we might get a 1-lap shootout. We'll see what happens. But this is going to be a wild, wild replay to take a look at. So let's look at the replay to see what brought the caution out for the second time today here at Pensacola. Well, this is similar to what happened with the first caution, although Dylan Young, he's trying to go for a move to get up to the lead. I guess he didn't realize he was heading towards the apron, and then he went, oh crap, tries to correct himself, tries to blend back in the racetrack, makes contact with Daniel Bouchard. Everybody scrambles, and I thought it looked like they was going to be able to save it. They about had it until Aaron Macklin came down into Joey Parkhill, and then the 6 is going to spin right back into traffic, and this is where the chaos begins. Hard hit for Riley Henry. Parkhill goes around, the 6 goes around, and then everybody's just scrambling to miss it, and they all just run into each other, and this is where the crash is going to happen. Now, watch the 83 right there of Chris Dollarton. He's going to come back onto the racetrack, and he gets airborne because of it, and that's what sends the 83 going for many barrel rolls. Meanwhile, for Seth Cole, he got sent into a barrel roll after making contact with Mitchell Collins, back up the track, and then got hit underneath by Michael Norman, and that's what sends him going for many barrel rolls as well. It's almost like as if you're coming back up onto the racetrack from the apron, you're guaranteed to go upside down, because it's just a big dead spot right there. But we're going to count the barrel rolls both Seth and Dollarton take. So we're going to go to TV1 cameras. Look at Dollarton. He's going to go wild. But we're going to watch Seth Cole's flips first. He's going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, looks like about 13 and a half. No, 14 times Seth Cole went flipping wildly and then came to rest on all 4 tires. Meanwhile, Dollarton ends up upside down. And the record, like I've said before, Daniel Bouchard has the record for most flips in a single wreck, and that was back at Armory Digital, where, if I recall, I believe he barreled about 27 times. Let's take a look at Dollarton, because he ended up taking more flips than the 25, I believe, so we're going to see what happens with this. But yeah, just that dead spot right there just immediately sends him upside down. He goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, looks like 18 and a half, so yeah, just unbelievable crash here as a result of one driver getting confused with his line, tries to correct it, and it just, everybody's scrambling to miss everything, and it just ends up biting them in the rear end. But man, just so many cars caught up in this. Can't believe it. And yeah, all the cars on pit road as a result. But let's take you to what could be our final restart here at Pensacola. Well, as a result of that massive crash, many cars are out of the race. Michael Norman, Cole Deaver, Jordan Forbes, Seth Cole, Chris Dollarton, Alexander Rowe, William Brock, Stephen Kalan, Riley Henry, and James Qualls all out. Down to 27 cars on track, 24 on the lead lap. One lap shootout. For the second week in a row, a one-lap shootout is going to determine the winner. And right now, Kyle Matthews with the lead, second Dylan Jacobs, third Trey Wright, fourth Ryan Acosta, fifth Matt McIntyre, sixth is Caleb Kilburn, seventh Melissa Alexander, eighth Henry Sanford, ninth Jessica Sheldon, 10th Keith Miller Jr., 11th Quentin Moore, 12th Daniel Bouchard, 13th Dylan Young, 14th Jesse Turner, 15th Rafael Leduc, 16th Arthur Xavier, 17th Jonathan Zorline, 18th Jay Jefferson, 19th Henry Durand, 20th Charles Sanford. 21st is Mitchell Collins, 22nd Alyssa Drayson, 23rd Joey Parkhill, 24th Daniel Voiles, 25th is Aaron Macklin. Or actually, no, he's a lap down. He's a second car a lap down with Carson Gum up ahead, and then Ashlyn Boyd 2 laps down. So yeah, 27 cars on track, 24 on the lead lap. And this is going to be an interesting final lap. Drivers are going to really have to push it in order to win. And also, especially for second on back, they got to get around the lapped car of Carson Gum to get to Kyle Matthews. But the green and yellow and the white flags are going to wave at any moment. Pace car into pit road. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back underway. Final lap here at Pensacola. For the second week in a row, a one-lap shootout to determine the winner. And Carson Gum looking to go to the inside of Matthews. This is going to help drivers behind him make a move on Matthews for the lead. We're going to go to helicopter view for a second as here comes Dylan Jacobs. He's going to take the lead for the time being. And Jacobs still searching for his first win of the season to keep a streak going of getting at least one win every year. But he left the bottom open for Trey Wright to make a move. But he's going to leave the bottom open for Ryan Acosta to make a move. It's going to be 4 wide for the lead going into turn 3. But Dylan Jacobs trying to hang on in the middle. I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's going to have to really hope and just side draft off to 10 to keep the spot. We're getting ready to come out of turn 4 for the final time. Oh, it's going to be a drag race at the line, but the checkered flag waving. Dylan Jacobs, finally, after a struggling season, gets his first win of the season. He wins the 5 Flags 500 at Pensacola. One lap dash, made the right move, held off everybody. Finally, after spending much of the season outside the top 30 in points, back in there, finally gets his first win of the season and keeps his streak of getting at least one win every season that he starts alive. What a race we had here today at Pensacola. So let's take a look at the rest of the results. Despite a damaged race car, Ryan Acosta was trying his hardest to get up to the lead and win that race, but still, phenomenal points run, finishing in the second position. Trey Wright, second career top 5 finish, finishing in third, and look at that, 333. How fitting. Anyways, Jessica Sheldon with a great run in the 4th position, and Melissa Alexander, solid run in the 5th spot. Keith Miller Jr., the highest of the top 10 in points, to finish in the 6th position, so he's going to gain quite a bit of points going into Texas. Henry Sanford continuing some momentum, finishing in 7th. Matt McIntyre, great run in the 8th spot. Caleb Kilburn, 999, finishing 9th. And then Quentin Moore rounding out the top 10. Then there is your top 20, top 30, bottom 5 for this week. It's a big one. Riley Henry, James Qualls, Scott Groverston, Patrick Smith, and Zachary Fitzwater. So now the championship battle is about to get really interesting Now, with 4 races to go, it's going to be very close between quite a few drivers now, especially with the top 2 not getting points after today. But thank you guys for watching the 5 Flags 500. I will see you Friday for Texas. But until then, here is Dylan Jacobs' Victory Burnout and the point standings heading into Texas. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.